I know it feels like the season is over and it seems like there's nothing left to play for, but factually, that is incorrect because we are only 4 points behind Barcelona and we have another El Clasico coming up in a few weeks. So mathematically, right now, we are involved with this title race. And that means that we need to collect 3 points from every single match until the end of the season if we want to have any chance of lifting some silverware domestically before we go to that Club World Cup. And it starts off with the big game that we got this Sunday at the Bernabéu. Real Madrid will be taking on Celta Vigo. And this is a must-win game. We have no choice but to go out there and collect the 3 points. If we want to have any chance of winning La Liga, we can't lose. We can't get a draw. Anything less than a win, it is over. Just so we are very clear. And it's a big game because Celta Vigo are one of the better teams in La Liga. We've seen them give Atleti, Barca, and Real Madrid some trouble throughout this season. So this is going to be a good test to see where the players' mindsets are, to see how will they respond after losing in another cup final to Barcelona this season. But I'm trying to find ways to hype myself up. You guys already know. I think Barcelona, it's 90%, in my opinion, that they will win the league. I think we have a 10% chance. Because even if we win all of our games from here until the end of the season, we're still going to need a little bit of help. Right? We're going to need Barca to drop points in La Liga in the last 4 or 5 games. They got a UCL semifinal second leg to worry about, right, against Inter. So that might throw them off. They might have to rotate. Who knows what injuries may come out of those games? You never know. So we have to do our part, and that's just win these matches. Could you imagine if we lose? And then imagine if Barcelona then lose in their next La Liga game. Imagine the catastrophe that would be if Barca drop points and we're not there to capitalize. But look, we're going to talk about both teams, and then we're going to look at some of the injury news concerning Real Madrid because it's a crisis going on. And then at the end, I will be building the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti needs to put out there. So smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those post notifications because I'm telling you right now, these next few weeks, it's going to get crazy on Football Carnage. But let's just talk about Real Madrid. So looking at this La Liga table, sitting second, only 4 points off of Barcelona, and they have been the better team this season, right? Like Barcelona, they've been clear of us. But like I said, mathematically, we're still involved. Now, I know that the vibes aren't good at Real Madrid, right? I know that we're all feeling pretty down at the moment. There's so much news coming out, whether it's concerning some transfers or, Carlo Ancelotti and the whole drama that's going on with him, the club, and Brazil. And this is going to be a good test to see the mindset of these players. Are they going to go out there and give 100%? Because like I said, Barcelona are the favorites. It's all in their hands. We're going to need some help. We're going to also need to beat them at their ground in the last El Clasico of the season in a week's time. So, look, not saying it's going to be easy, but doesn't mean that we give up. Because now that we effectively have nothing left to play for, all of our focus is towards La Liga. Now, we've played 33 games so far. We got 22 wins. What is that? 6 draws, 3 losses. Goal difference is okay. If you look at the form in the last 5 games, 4 wins, 1 loss. Critical loss as well, right? I think that was against Valencia. That damn near was a gut punch in this title race. But yet, here we are, right? So, look, let's talk about the 2 times that we've played Celta Vigo because we went against them twice, right? One time in Copa del Rey And then that was the last time we played them. I think it was the Copa del Rey round of 16, if I'm not mistaken. And then we played them in La Liga back in like October or November. But I want to talk about the Copa del Rey match first, right? Because that is the last time that we played them. We did go on to beat them 5-2. And in this game, we were cooking them for a majority of that match. And then we capitulated in the last like 10 minutes. Celta Vigo scored 2 goals, right? They forced the match to go to extra time. And then Endrick, right? I believe Endrick scored a brace. I think Valverde scored in extra time as well. So, yeah, we had 3 goals scored in extra time after, you know, a pretty disastrous end to the match. I remember, like, Camavinga, if I'm not mistaken, I believe that he made a mistake that cost us. But this game right here was super entertaining. I mean, especially if you were a neutral watching this match, right? Tchouaméni dropped a man of the match kind of performance. I remember this was when he was coming off the back of a lot of criticism, right? A lot of people were booing him that game, and it was because of what he was doing at center back. Carlo puts him back into his best position, which is as a DM, and he absolutely cooked this match. But yeah, it was a shaky win because, again, we were up 2-0. We all thought we were going to just see the game through. And at the end, 2 costly mistakes. They equalize, goes to extra time. Then Endrick with the brace, Valverde. I think Arda Güler came on as well, and I think he got the 2 assists for Endrick's goals. So super entertaining, right? And I do think that for majority of this match, we were the better team. Now, that was the last time that we played Celta Vigo, right? The first time that we played Celta Vigo in La Liga at their ground, let me tell you something right now. That game was shambolic. They absolutely cooked us. We won, right? It was a 2-1 victory, but they were the better team. They killed us in transition. The amount of opportunities that they missed, we're lucky that these guys are not clinical because they would have beat us. Brother, we played so bad this game that I remember I said I did not want Xabi Alonso because we employed the back 3. And it was just horrendous. Rudiger, Tchouaméni, Militao, they were getting destroyed. The midfield looked so disorganized. I know that Vinicius and I believe Mbappe scored this game. But if Celta Vigo were better in the final third, we would have lost. Let's not lie to ourselves now. So we can not go out there and play like that. But let's just look at the recent games that we've had. Our last match, we did lose to Barcelona 3-2 in the Copa del Rey final. That game went all the way into extra time. Jules Koundé scored last-minute winner. I think we were mid. I mean, like, Barcelona have just been the better team. It seems like we cannot beat them this season. We're going to need to beat them when we see them in a week or so. But, I mean, this season it's just not really been going our way. We did get a win against Getafe. I think that we did cook them, even though it was 1-0. We were the better team. I think against Bilbao, we cooked. Well, actually, no. Against Getafe, we didn't cook them. We were better, but they had chances as well. We cooked Bilbao, even though that was a 1-0. Valverde had to score the winner, but they had an amazing defensive performance, and their goalkeeper was making some big saves. But look, we crashed out in the UCL, right? Got embarrassed by Arsenal. Like, the amount of losses that I'm looking right here, bro. Like, look at the amount of losses that we've had over, like, the last month. This season has just been so mediocre. And I am ready for it to end. I mean, look, if we can some way, somehow win this La Liga trophy, it'd be a miracle, right? But I've not been happy with what I've seen from Real Madrid this season, just to be very honest. But let's talk about the ops, right? Let's look at what Celta Vigo have going on. They are sitting 7th in the table. They are trying to finish in a European spot. They're only 2 points above Osasuna. So this is a big game for them, right? They're going to feel like they need to come to our ground and get the win because they want to be in Europe, right? And I think that Celta Vigo this season have actually been a pretty decent team. Like, they've caused issues to the big 3, right? I mean, like, let's be honest. I believe that they got a draw against Barca. They also got a draw against Atleti this season as well. And the last time that they played Barcelona, right? The game ended 4-3, right? I remember Iglesias, we did a hate-along for this match. I was rooting for Celta Vigo. Iglesias scored a hat trick against Barca, and at the end, right, they got a penalty. Barcelona did. Rafinha scores it. They end up leaving with the dub. But, Celta Vigo were giving Barcelona problems, right? Like in transition, the high line, they were able to master it. And I believe, Danny almost scored. I think Ferran Torres as well that game. This was an interesting one to watch. So, look, even though they did lose, right? Last time they did play a team that we usually struggle with, they didn't look bad, right? But Iglesias, though, was cooking. I'm not going to lie. Iglesias, he was on smoke. Yeah, that was a good hat trick by him. But the game after that, they did beat Villarreal 3-0. So, I mean, decent form, even though they did lose to Espanyol, but we lost to Espanyol as well. Now, let's talk about some Real Madrid updates, right? Let me know what you guys are saying about Celta Vigo and how do you think they will be able to hurt us. But look, this has not been a good week for Real Madrid with the injuries, brother. Let me tell you something right now. We are literally Hospital FC. We have no back line. Like, our back line for the end of this season is going to be horrendous. Like, I'm telling you something right now, but we are going to need Jesus Christ himself to be on that pitch with these players to help us because it's not looking good. Like, in one day, we found out that David Alaba is out for the rest of La Liga. Rudiger is out for the rest of La Liga. Ferland Mendy is out for the rest of La Liga. Let's also throw in the fact that Militao tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Danny Carvajal tore his ACL. He's out for the season. Like, we are cooked when it comes to injuries. I'm going to be real. I know that Carlo Ancelotti is more than likely leaving. I need the medical staff to go with him. They got to get sacked because what we've been seeing over like the last 3 seasons, injury-wise, is ridiculous. They all have to go. I want a whole new medical staff. But let's talk about it, right? David Alaba came back in January, got re-injured since he's been back, was able to come back again. Now he's done, right? David Alaba, we're not going to see him for the rest of La Liga. Rudiger just got surgery. And even if he wasn't injured, Rudiger was going to be suspended for the rest of the season anyways because of what he did at the end of that Copa del Rey match, right? Ferland Mendy got injured in that Copa del Rey game in the first 5 minutes against Barcelona, confirmed he's not coming back for the rest of this La Liga season, right? They might be back for the Club World Cup, but who knows? Camavinga, he also was injured. This is crazy when you think about it. Camavinga got injured against Getafe right before the Copa del Rey final. He was a big miss for us because Camavinga's form was turning around. He's no longer available, right? We talked about Militao. We talked about Danny Carvajal. And then, yeah, Rudiger, like I said, even if he was available, he wouldn't have been able to play. He would have been suspended. To bring up the suspensions, though, Jude and Lucas Vazquez are not suspended for any of the La Liga matches. I think they will be suspended for some games next season for Copa del Rey. But for the La Liga, they will be available. I just wanted to call that out. But yeah, man, look, a bunch of injuries. It's just been crazy. Now, let's get into my favorite part of every single match preview, and that is building the starting 11 that I think Carlo Ancelotti will put out there. Now, again, remember, this is a must-win game. We are mathematically still in a title race, right? We can still win La Liga if we win our games and if Barca stumble some way along the lines. You know what I'm saying? So we got to go full strength there. There's nothing else for these players to worry about. There's no Champions League. All the domestic cups are done. Like, this is it for us, okay? So we got to go full strength, right? Now, in goal, we're going to go with Thibaut Courtois. I don't think anybody's going to have an issue with that, right? Thibaut Courtois, best goalkeeper in the world. Baller. Been our best player this season, arguably. At right back, we got to go Lucas Vazquez. I know, right? It makes us all very nervous, but we need Valverde in midfield. We don't have that many midfielders. I mean, maybe, right? Maybe if you would, yeah, I think he's going to start Lucas Vazquez. I'm going to just be real. Like, we don't even got to go through a whole breakdown of why, right? Now, Asensio, I believe, will be at right side center back. And with no Militao, no Alaba, no Rudiger, it's going to have to be Tchouaméni in that back line, right? So Tchouaméni is going to have to leave the midfield. He's going to have to be at center back next to Asensio. That does make me a little bit nervous. I know that Vallejo, I believe, is fit, but Vallejo is garbage, and his contract runs out at the end of the season. So I'd rather play an academy kid at center back than play Vallejo. And I know that a couple of academy defenders were called up, but the odds of them starting this game are slim to none. We know that Carlo Ancelotti, with all the pressure that's on him at the moment, he's not going out there and starting no academy kid and going to give a debut against the Celta Vigo. Are you crazy? Especially after we watched Iglesias score a hat trick on Barca. Hell no. It's not happening. Now, at left back, I think it's going to be Fran. It's going to be Fran Garcia. There's literally no other left back options. Mendy is done. Camavinga is done for the season. Like, it's going to be Fran Garcia. Now, in this midfield, I think it's going to be Danny Ceballos, and then I think it's going to be Valverde. This is how I see the double pivot being. In the 10, it's going to be Jude. On the left, I think that Vinicius starts. In the 9, Mbappe. Now, we got to talk about this right wing really quickly, right? We've all saw the news coming out the last few weeks, or the last few days, I mean, about Rodrygo potentially wanting to leave Real Madrid. And we know that his performances this season have just been super mid, right? Like the Mumbai Messi, the Bangladeshian Cristiano Ronaldo has just not been performing at a very high level this season. So it's been a little bit jarring seeing Rodrygo's performances. And then we saw in that Copa del Rey final that Arda Güler balled out. He cooked. Like Arda Güler in that second half was immense for us. And I do want to see Arda start games. Like, this is the thing. I want to see Arda start. But will Carlo do it? I don't know. I feel like he prefers Arda Güler off the bench. And I'm trying to predict the 11, so I think we're going to go Rodrygo. And even though I rate Rodrygo, I think I would rather see Arda start. But this is just me building what I think Carlo Ancelotti will do, right? This is not what necessarily I would do if I was the manager. But let me know what you guys are saying for this starting 11, right? Make sure you guys smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications. Don't forget to subscribe to Carnage Extra, my second channel just created, right? The link is going to be pinned in the comment section. And also, don't forget to get in that Discord as well. We will be live with a watch-along on Sunday for this match. You don't want to miss it. Big game, a must win. Hala Madrid.